In Darwin, a smaller group of asylum seekers wants to sail on to New Zealand rather than face indefinite detention here. The 10 Chinese are camping out at a ferry terminal after arriving by boat 5 days ago. They still want to head south, although the authorities fear it's too big a risk.
It's a difficult decision. Spend months on a dangerous boat voyage to New Zealand or apply for asylum in Australia and spend an indefinite time in detention. That's the choice these asylum seekers are facing, and authorities have set them a deadline to decide.
April the 14th. We have valid visas, but between now and the 14th we must make an application.
The 10 asylum seekers say they are members of Falun Gong and fled China because of persecution. They've spent the past month on a yacht aiming to get to New Zealand to seek asylum. Since Thursday, the group has been camping out at a local ferry terminal, and it was only yesterday immigration officials made contact.
They suggested we should not proceed to New Zealand. That is, we should stay here because the conditions at sea will be very rough.
Local seafarers agree it's the worst time of year to attempt the voyage.
Everything at the moment's heading west, and they want to head east into it. It's really a recipe for disaster.
The group says they met a representative from New Zealand here in Darwin yesterday who actively encouraged them to seek asylum here in Australia rather than continue their potentially dangerous journey to New Zealand.
They have not asked for asylum in Australia and they are on a seaworthy vessel, so we are not in a position where we could detain them against their will.
It's only because New Zealand lacks mandatory detention that boat is apparently headed there.
And despite the risks, the group is considering taking its chances on the high seas.
We're not afraid of detention. What we're afraid of is being detained indefinitely.
A voyage that could end in tragedy or cause a diplomatic storm across the Tasman. Iskhandar, Razak, ABC News, Darwin.